Hey guys, hope you're all doing well. Now for today's video, I want to talk about one of the oldest Jurassic Park stories to have ever existed. The cancelled plan for BioSyn to round up all of Isla Nublar's dinosaurs in order to build their own theme park. So if you didn't know already, way back in the early 90s, Universal had plans to expand upon the original Jurassic Park movie almost immediately. Of course, Steven Spielberg had already been at work thinking of ideas for sequels since the first movie took off so well, but even before Michael Crichton put pen to paper for his Lost World novel, an animated series was actively in the works behind closed doors. This animated series would have been a continuation of the original movie, picking up quite closely to where the 1993 film left off. Its story would have revolved around Alan, Ellie, Ian, Lex, and Tim helping John Hammond recapture the loose dinosaurs and get them all ready for the imminent grand opening of Jurassic Park. Of course, these plans would be hotly contested by Grant and the other scientists, but they nevertheless did help Hammond rebuild the park in the end. Unfortunately for all of those involved on Nublar though, there would be yet another party that was interested in the dinosaurs' exploitation. And these guys happen to be the same people behind the original incident with Dennis Nedry. You see, in the Escape from Jurassic Park animated series, Louis Dodgson and BioSyn would eventually be revealed as the main baddies of that show. Their plans would obviously be to get onto the island, steal some of Dr. Wu's animals, and then bring them to the mainland in order to open up their very own Jurassic Park, which was appropriately named Dino World. Now, although BioSyn operates out of Cupertino, California, Dino World was actually going to be stationed in the rainforest of Brazil. Here, Dodgson had actually acquired a large piece of land that he'd carve out of the jungle in order to facilitate BioSyn's theme park needs. This would obviously upset the delicate ecosystem that exists in that part of the world, but Dodgson isn't the type of guy to really care about that sort of thing. Anyways, BioSyn would soon send their specialized Dino Wranglers onto the island with an alleged cargo ship that was specially retrofitted with large holding pens and cages. The Wranglers would almost immediately come under attack by spitting Dilophosaurs, Velociraptors, and Tyrannosaurus Rexes that came pouring from all over the island as soon as they touched down. Luckily for them, gas and stun weapons would keep the carnivores at bay, while they captured many other species and rounded up genetic material as well as fertilized eggs in order to take with them to Brazil. Thrilled with the results, Louis Dodgson then decides to begin breeding the most commercially outstanding dinosaurs first, namely cloning several Raptors and T.rexes during Dino World's initial startup phase. Eventually, Hammond and the others find out that someone has already come onto Isla Nublar and stolen many of his dinosaurs. The old man's surprise visit to the site surprises Dodgson and BioSyn, who had actually planned to blow up all of the buildings and destroy Isla Nublar so that their tracks would be covered easily once they'd made their escape. But this wouldn't be the only surprise that BioSyn would have, because little did they know that Dino World is already experiencing some breakouts without their knowledge. Many of the cunning velociraptors proved to be easily capable of escaping their holding pens, and several other dinosaurs inadvertently make their way out during the resulting chaos. Dodgson eventually gets away, but not before Dino World comes crashing down to the ground nearly as fast as the original Jurassic Park. Only this time, dinosaurs had escaped into the open rainforests of South America, making several species wild in the civilized mainland for the first time in millions of years. So if you can't tell already, this plot has a number of similarities with several other stories that were going on at the same time, namely Jurassic Park 2: The Chaos Continues for Super Nintendo and the original Jurassic Park comic books by Topps. You will also probably notice the many similarities between this story and the new Jurassic World Evolution DLC, as well as the plot for Fallen Kingdom. I think these were more than likely ideas and notes that Steven Spielberg had sitting around Amblin for many years that sadly never went to use because of the direction the original trilogy went in the late 90s and early 2000s. Hell, even the Lost World Jurassic Park features a company going into an island in order to take the dinosaurs and ship them off to a new theme park on the mainland as well. So there is definitely a lot of stuff going on here that would eventually get used in later entries. I do find it really cool to think about this initial story though, and how people would have reacted to it, because this time it would actually have been Louis Dodgson behind the mayhem and BioSyn going against InGen with their own dinosaur theme park. And of course, once again, we have continued evidence that supports the idea that dinosaurs in the mainland was something that they'd been playing around with since the first Jurassic Park movie ended way back in 1993. Shame it took them like 25 years to get to that plot, but oh well, better late than never, I guess. Now, it's important for me to make a point that all of the information that has been gathered in this video was first published exclusively to Jurassic Outpost, which a link will of course be provided down in the description below. I talk about them a lot on this channel, and if you're a fan, you probably already know who those guys are, but I still think it's important to point you all in the right direction of where this stuff has been sourced. Anyways, I'm curious to hear what all of you guys think about Dino World, and how it would have been handled in this animated series. Now, whatever your own thoughts and opinions happen to be, I'd love to hear them in the comments down below. Now, before I go, I'd like to thank all of my game wardens, as well as all of my InGen executives. I'd also like to thank all of my park workers and InGen hunters as well. Guys, it seriously means the world to me that you all continue to support what I do, and I never want you to ever forget that. Now, I'd like to thank you all for watching today's video. If you feel like I deserve it, I'd appreciate the like and hope that you'll all consider subscribing if you're interested in hearing from me again. See you all in the next video, guys, and as always, take it easy.